So the next up we got Pinocchio. So going over to the movie. Um, kind of I kind of actually enjoyed going back and watching Pinocchio a lot because I learned a lot more about Pinocchio as a movie than I thought or than I ever did. It is good to watch this movie with adult eyes because Geppetto's a stoner. Geppetto is just a stoner. That that's the whole reason that this movie exists is because Geppetto is a drinker and a stoner. The beginning of the movie starts. He's got several clocks that just feature booze o'clock, just a guy drinking. He's got a stopwatch that shows two guys just cheersing. Yeah, he's a booze hound. He's dancing with a pup and a cat. And basically his only two friends before Pinocchio was born is a cat and a fish. That's that's stoner shit there. Um, but yeah, I actually really enjoyed back to Pinocchio. When he's laying in bed, he's smoking, getting high, and he says, I wish Pinocchio was a real boy," and that's how Pinocchio becomes the real boy. I mean, comparing it against Snow White, the movie, I thought as far as like entertainment, it came out 2 years after I think, and kind of Disney had a better idea of what he wanted from a storytelling animation. So I don't think it's a shocker that I think it was a better film. Um, I think it had more character development, more interesting story, more going on. So I'm gonna put Pinocchio above Snow White. I'm trying to think of the other weird things that I found from the movie. What else? I mean, I guess that's pretty much for the movie. So going back over to the characters. First, we'll start with Jiminy. So Jiminy kind of has similar vibes to Dopey. He can squeeze his body into tight spots. At one point, he squeezed into a keyhole. He squeezed into a clock. Um, he got very cozy on a clock, which makes you think gives him a high pain tolerance because he can just do that. I think there's other things that gave him a high pain tolerance as well. But that's just, I mean, not high pain tolerance, just like an above average pain tolerance. Oh, he can leap up to heights 15 times his size. I actually took a second to like measure it out. But yeah, when he's walking next to Pinocchio, he's like hopping to the top of Pinocchio and a little bit higher as well. He can also hop pretty far lengths. Unlike Dopey, I wasn't able to get like an actual read because he's so small. It's hard to tell like how far he's actually jumping and kind of where it cuts. It was hard to see. But he definitely has long jumps. He also can glide long distances on his own. Um, I'd say it was probably he was gliding about maybe 10 to 12 feet, and then with his or sorry about 8 to 10 feet, and then with his umbrella he was getting an additional 2 to 4 feet. Um, so he definitely can move far and fast. He can keep up with Pinocchio. He can keep up with Geppetto, and he's small. So I mean, when I say he's fast, fast for his height, but like average person speed. But like he's got good reflexes. He can keep up. So if he's fighting another Disney character, I think he can hold his own as far as speed. Strength, no. He doesn't show really any strength at all throughout the movie, other than what a normal cricket might have. Maybe just a normal person. He might be able to hold his own against a person. Um, he can hop over rocks. I forgot why I wrote that down. And he can breathe underwater for a very long time. Um, they were underwater for about, I mean, movie time, I think it was about 3, 4 minutes. Real time, if I had to guess, I'd say it was probably 20 minutes to half an hour while they were underwater searching for Geppetto and the whale. I don't think he can hold his own against the queen. I think the queen would have no issues squashing him like a little bug. So I'm gonna put Snow White down. I'm gonna put the mirror down, and I'm gonna put Jiminy right there. I think that's the best place for Jiminy right now. What's the whale's name? Monstro. Monstro the whale will be the next one I'm ranking. The entire, and when I say the entire sea is scared of him, which like I was thinking I didn't want to do too many feature spoilers, but as far as like thinking ahead, I'm like, does this mean like Ariel and Titan would be terrified of him? Could he take them on? I mean, that might come up later. He's it mentions he's larger than a 5-story building, which is bigger than all the characters on here. So he's definitely got the weight, he's definitely got the height, the strength on all these characters. So raw strength, I think he beats all these characters just raw battle strength. Um, he's got sharp teeth like a shark. He's a kilometer long. He swallowed an entire boat whole, and it's just chilling in him with no problem. And he destroyed an entire cliff with his body weight. So that's another strength right there. So I mean, ranking him up here, starting at the bottom, Snow White, no problem. Swallows her whole, poops her out, just like he did to Geppetto. I mean, he didn't poop Geppetto out. Geppetto got saved, but just like he wanted to do with Geppetto. Mirror, again, swallowed whole. The mirror probably knows when he's going to open his mouth to try and escape, but belly flops on him, breaks the mirror. Jiminy did beat Mordo. Swam faster than him. Pinocchio also swam faster than him, so Jiminy swam faster than him. Once Mordo catches up, or Monstro catches up, I don't really think there's much Jiminy can do. Monstro eats him unless Jiminy can find a way out. Smoke up his mouth again like he did in the movie. I really think in a raw fight to fight, death to the death battle, I think Monstro would win. Now Evil Queen. It's see when it comes to this ranking, and I think I'm gonna run into this problem a lot. There's gonna be a lot where I have to decide: does the magic weigh out the strength? Does her knowledge of magic weigh out Mordo's just built? He's just whales can't fight on land. Well, like in this fight, we'll just assume they're in water. It's a water battle. I mean, some of these characters we're gonna have to like accommodate for things. Let's just say he's magic to be able to be out. But like just pure strength, pure shredding. I think like obviously Eva Queen probably breathe underwater. I don't think that would be an issue for her. I think she could easily breathe underwater. Um, Man, this is actually kind of a hard one. Well, let's say more Masho beats her. Dopey, I think would just win instantly. He can't be killed. Like I think like he chews on Dopey. He tries to swallow Dopey. Dopey comes out the butt and just is still alive and beats the shit out of Mashro. I think that would be the case because. But I think with the Evil Queen, I think the Evil Queen, you know what, could defeat Monstro, just because like magic, poof. I bet she could poof herself out of Monstro. She goes invisible. Monstro can't find her. He can, you know what, swallows the Evil Queen with a poison apple. That's it. That's all she wrote for Monstro. So yeah, I'll put Monstro 3. I think that's a good place for him. All right, and then for good old Pinocchio's. Let's see. Let's start. I don't think he's gonna make it too high up the list. Um, well, he did. So he's pretty fast actually. So, I mean, definitely like. Actually, well, here's the thing. Snow White could summon woodpeckers, and honestly, she could do the same thing. You know what? I just convinced myself. I think she can go there because I think honestly she can summon woodpeckers to attack the mirror and attack Pinocchio. Um, so, but would she? I think that was the case I was making though. Oh man, this is harder than I thought it would be. He's still all no. He could still break her down. You know what? I'm gonna keep that, and I'm also gonna say I think Pinocchio could beat her. Um, he's got the nose thing that he could just stab her with his nose. He's also made out of wood. I think if she got a splinter, I think she's out of the game. Jiminy versus Pinocchio. They both have that speed that they were able to um, swim faster than Monstro. Pinocchio, basically immortal. Let's see, what kind of stats did I have on him? He falls down the stairs and has a high pain tolerance. Oh, he lights himself on fire. Didn't bother him a bit. Yeah, you know what? He's shown a lot more resilience towards pain than Jiminy. So I think in a fight that he could probably beat Jiminy based on the fact that Jiminy's gonna be feeling pain. Pinocchio's probably not. Even if he's getting hurt, he's not feeling it. Though at one point he does get sick, and that bothers him. Oh, he got sick from drinking though, so that's, I mean, a little different. Uh, he is magical wood, so he breathes underwater and he doesn't get any wood rot. So that definitely is a strength right there. So both Jiminy, both all three of these can breathe underwater, and I mean, for the sake of argument, I think Evil Queen can breathe underwater. He was the one who came up with the fire plan against Mordo or Monstro. Why do I keep calling him Mordo? Against Monstro. He gets hit in the head several times by a hammer. Later on, he gets burnt again. This one hurts him, but he still has a high tolerance for it. You know, I'm gonna say I think obviously I think he would beat Jiminy based on the strength. I also think he might be able to beat Monstro, just because he's I think he could outsmart Monstro, and kind of like Dopey with that high pain tolerance. I think anything that Monstro kind of does with him, he can shake off more than the average person. I honestly thought Pinocchio would be lower on this list, but I'm thinking about it. This makes sense. Okay, as far as the Queen in Pinocchio, I think it'd be a similar battle to the Queen in Snow White. I think she can change into Geppetto and offer him an apple and poison him. I really think like I don't think that's a contest. I think 3 is where Pinocchio is going. If you guys think there's a ranking that should be changed, I definitely want to hear. I want to hear who you guys think could beat who. What you guys think of this ranking? What your guys' rankings are? I definitely want to hear all of that. So definitely feel free to put that in the chat, and I'll definitely take anything into consideration. None of this. I don't come in with any plan of where I'm going to rank people. I have my assumptions where I think people are going to be ranked. Okay, one more from Pinocchio, not Snow White. We finished Snow White a while ago. Last one from Pinocchio. We've got the Blue Fairy. So the Blue Fairy, another one where they're just that's fair. It is fair. I don't take your word for anything. So the Blue Fairy is like another one where there wasn't a lot of information about her, but I think the information I got I can work with. Let's see. So she can fly, she's translucent, and she can create life. She's shown a very strong ability in magic. She freed Pinocchio from his cage. She turned him into a real boy from a puppet. She turned him into a living puppet from a non-living puppet. Oh, she brought him back to life, I think. Yeah, she brought him back to life at the end. That's when she turned him into the real boy. That's right. She's kind of all-knowing like the mirror, so honestly beats the mirror right there. Since that's the mirror's only strength. I think honestly, if she wanted to, she could turn Monstro into a little guppy. Pinocchio, she could just take his life away. Now currently the only 2 magic users on the list, unless you want to count Magic Mirror as a magic user, which yeah, okay. So the 2 top magic users on the list. Like I said earlier, Evil Queen did not show a mastery ability of magic, at least in this movie, and that's the movie I'm ranking her off of. Some of these characters I will be using outside sources like cartoons they appear in, things like that. I'll be starting to watch House of Mouse. So if I get anything in there, that may change the rankings, I'll bring that up during these streams. But I mean, as of right now, there's really nothing that shows the Evil Queen has a mastery of magic. She made poison apple. She may have controlled lightning once, but she got struck by lightning and her rock fell and she died by falling on a rock, which if she had a mastery, I think the Blue Fairy would have been able to overcome that. So I think I'm going to put them down. Is that right? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now as far as her versus Dopey. Again, another tough one because it's magic user versus non-magic user. But Dopey has high pain tolerance. So, like, I mean, if we're going with, like I said, she could probably turn Mordo into a guppy. She could probably just turn Yeah, I think she could just obliterate Dopey. Actually, like she could just goop him if she wanted to. So I'm gonna put Blue Fairy 1. Um, looking at the list so far, and I'll probably touch on this when we finish. But I mean, as of right now, I think the top three are gonna stay in the 64, and I think this list might start to drop down. Um, I mean, that being said, I don't really remember everything that's coming up for characters. I know there's a lot of disparity in Disney power. Like I feel like there's magical powerful, cartoon powerful, and then just normal strength. So it is gonna get a little difficult to start ranking these once I get a couple more characters on here. It's already starting to get a bit difficult. But yeah, I mean that's it for Pinocchio.